All right, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Kodash. Double honor to the apostles, bishops, elders at GMS, shalom. See brothers that's teaching and preaching this truth across the four winds of the earth. Shalom to you, elect brothers and a few sisters out there that listen and follow along as well. Right? And it's gonna be just a quick thought, man. And I can't right now think of any scriptures that come in mind to go into this particular topic, but I might I might do a part 2 maybe. But it's like I have to just it's just a spiritual rant, just a rant kind of a little bit. It's gonna be quick too. For some reason, I was at the store, and for some reason, and I know there's probably scriptures that talk about it and go into things like this, but I've noticed, and it's not putting myself on a pedestal, not saying anything about myself. I'm just a normal person, man. But it's just like the spirit that when you know the truth, right? And the spirit is like the spirit that we have, right? People can like pick up, right, on our presence. Like people can pick up on that, right? And for some odd reason, it's not every single time I go out, but a lot of the times I go to the store, for some reason, I guess I just have an inviting presence, right? That people just come up to me, talk to me, open up about things, trying to get me to join a business or just open up, man. And I've noticed that it's like every single time, man. It's like I try to go to the store, trying to get there and get out somebody, right? And how this situation happened, I was in the aisle. I was going down. I think I was looking at, I don't even remember, but I think I was looking at my phone, and I was erasing stuff off the list, of the grocery list. And lady comes up, she walks in the aisle, and then see, a part of me is get skeptical on people sometimes, because you could be an agent, you could be a damn spy, right? You could be anything, man. But it was probably just a normal interaction. But I was sitting there checking off my stuff, and this lady comes up. She's limping. She's limping, and I was checking off stuff on my list, and me and her made eye contact, and she was like, typical hello, how are you? I was like, I'm doing well, how about yourself? Right? And then right then and there, that's when the conversation just sparked. And then she was like, what she said was, she was like, you have because if I've heard it before, people were like, you have a calm presence, or you're well spoken, they'll say little stuff like that to me, and I'm just like, yeah, thank you, whatever the case may be. But it's like she gave me like her whole life story, man. I don't know how she broke her ankle and surgery and all these other things. Started talking about her kids and all this stuff, man. It's just like, what is that? It's kind of like a question, but it's just like, and I know that happens to plenty of us, the brothers, maybe even the sisters. It was no religious talk at all. I didn't bring up the Bible, nothing, of course, right? But it's just like people flock, and people because you can feel energy, you can feel presence of people, and it's just like it feels like how about Shem Yahushai has given us that calm, cool spirit presence, that these people just come up, talk to you, want to give you their life story and do all these things, and it, it's kind of cool in a way, because it's just like that. Sometimes I don't want to be bothered. I'm just trying to get in. I'm trying to do what I got to do in the world and take my ass home. But sometimes it's interesting, and it's something I just really thought about, since I was literally in the aisle talking to her for like 30 minutes. I won't say that much. It's probably like 15 minutes. I was sitting in the aisle talking to her, talking about business and money and all these things. She told me, I want to have a cup of coffee with you and sit down, and you and your husband can talk and do all these things. It's just like all this of me just asking, how are you doing? It's like people have that energy, even though, obviously they don't know what we teach and, all the things that we know. Because that, we're supposed to remain discreet, right? Obviously that, but it's just like people, we have that presence, that calm, opening presence, about us, to where people want to just open up and do these things. And I always just found it, odd. It's interesting. It's not odd in a bad way. It's just interesting. It's like, what makes, like, me, you want to just open up and just talk to this? Like, people can feel that they're some safe or whatever around you, whatever the word may be. Right? And it's just like, it's interesting, man. And I just want to, I know there got to be some scriptures or something about it, because it's just like, it's crazy, man. Like, these people will sit there and open up and find means and ways to talk about you, right? And it's just like, man, it's a beautiful thing to have, this knowledge, this truth, because, in the world, it's a different, when before we knew the truth, obviously the way that we moved around and how we conducted, how we talked and things like that, it was completely different than now. But now, the truth is completely like eye-opening, right? To see how people, in our day-to-day lives, like, act like towards us, and just random complete strangers, right? But that's all I wanted to say. It was meant to be super quick, but I just wanted to say it because it's just like, I was thinking about it. I got in the car. I was just like, man, like, what about, like, what about me that gives everybody, people always want to come to me, like, want to talk to me about something and do this, and older people, younger people, it's just like, man, it's crazy. But, I'm not complaining about it. That's just the spirit, right, that, the Lord has put on me, man. And us. Because I know brothers and sisters, you probably deal with the same thing sometimes. When you're out in public, people just feel compelled, to talk to you about something, right? I don't know what it is, man, but that's all I want to say, man. Shalom.